Going for the knockout blow is Roman Reigns.
Nobody saw this coming. After weeks of silence following that brutal beatdown at Clash in Paris, Roman Reigns returned at WrestlePalooza. And he didn't come alone. The arena went dark, the crowd held its breath, and then the impossible happened. Roman stepped back into the spotlight, flanked by cloaked figures that turned mystery into mayhem. When the hoods came off, the WWE Universe exploded. This wasn't nostalgia. This was a rebuild, a restructure, a brand new Shield. Some faces familiar, others shocking, but all handpicked by the tribal chief himself. This return wasn't just about revenge. It was about power, legacy, and setting the table for war. Let's break down every frame, every face, and what this return means for WWE's future. The fallout from Paris: blood, betrayal, and uncertainty. At Clash in Paris, Reigns had gone through hell. Not just a grueling main event match, but what followed: a shocking post-match ambush by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, two men hungry to redefine their place in WWE by going after the biggest name in the game. Roman wasn't just beaten, he was systematically dismantled. The arena watched in stunned silence as medical personnel loaded the former tribal chief onto a stretcher. For a figure as dominant as Reigns, that visual alone cracked something deep in the narrative. An icon had fallen. WWE leaned into that collapse. No rushed comeback, no surprise brawls. They went quiet, deliberately so. Weeks of social media silence, carefully edited medical updates, old clips of Roman dominating piped in over grainy vignettes. Fans weren't just watching, they were grieving. It was storytelling restraint at its best. Roman's absence became a character in itself. The void left by his retreat only made the speculation louder. Would he return? Would he come back the same man? Who, if anyone, would stand beside him if he did? A return built in shadows, the new Shield emerges. Then came WrestlePalooza, an event already brimming with stakes. But nothing prepared the audience for what happened when the lights fell. The blackout wasn't just a gimmick, it was a ritual. The cameras lingered on that eerie stillness, the kind of quiet that drips with weight. Then, slowly, from the tunnel, Roman Reigns emerged. But he wasn't alone. Flanking him were figures in dark cloaks, armored boots thudding in unison, their masks glinting under the flickers of spotlight like something out of a myth reborn. A formation, a unit, a message. The moment wasn't just about Roman. It was about rebirth, reinvention, and power reclaimed. They called themselves the New Shield, a name that rippled through the crowd like electricity through water. And then, the unmasking. One by one, the cloaks dropped, and faces were revealed. Some were known, others were fresh, but each carried an undeniable presence. The crowd's reaction went from confusion to awe to outright chaos. Because this wasn't nostalgia, it was evolution. Roman had forged a new alliance, not out of comfort, but out of necessity. And each face chosen bore symbolic weight. Whether linked by family lineage, independent dominance, or sheer mystery, they weren't just teammates, they were chosen. And that made them dangerous. Legacy reforged. The mythos of the Shield rewritten. To understand the impact of this return, you have to understand the Shield's DNA. The original unit, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, weren't just a faction. They were a philosophy. 3 equals: military precision, unity over ego. They stormed arenas like a pack of wolves with a singular brain. Their run altered the fabric of modern WWE storytelling. So, when Roman reappears at the head of a new trio, or potentially more, it's not just a callback, it's a recontextualization. Roman's version of the Shield isn't about equal parts. It's about command. He's no longer the powerhouse muscle in the background. He's the strategist, the architect of retaliation. This Shield isn't a reunion. It's an evolution of warfare, production, presentation, and purpose. What made the return hit so hard wasn't just who came back. It was how it was presented. WWE leaned into cinematic pacing. The camera focused on Roman's face, older, worn, but unshaken. A man carved by war. The soundtrack cut from crowd roar to a heartbeat. The visuals shifted from flashing red ambulance lights to dark silhouettes. And when Roman finally stepped into the light, you saw not just a man healed, but a man reborn. This wasn't just a spectacle. It was a statement of intent, a war declaration wrapped in a short film, emotional gravity, and mythic weight. There's a reason this return hit like a thunderclap. It wasn't just because of the surprise, it was because of what the return represented emotionally. Retribution. Roman had been wronged, assaulted, left to vanish. Family. The Shield, in this form, wasn't just about brute force. It was a reclamation of Roman's legacy, hope. Fans want to believe that justice, even in the scripted world of pro wrestling, has a chance of returning. When Roman finally spoke, the words were minimal but surgical. Legacy is not a story you tell. It's a structure you build. And now, I rebuild. He named Breakker and Reed directly, not as obstacles, but as targets, where it goes from here. The chessboard is set. Breakker and Reed have to respond, not just physically, but psychologically. They've poked a lion. Now, the lion has a pack. WWE can explore any number of matchups here. Multi-man tags, unsanctioned brawls, no DQ chaos. And all of it builds toward something bigger. A shift in the power map of Raw and beyond. Speculation is already swirling online. Some fans believe Jacob Fatu may be waiting in the wings. Others think one of the new Shield members is a plant from Seth Rollins' Vision faction. Maybe even a Bloodline female enforcer, signaling the next step in WWE's generational storytelling.